Well, welcome back. Since the 1920s, the Scholastic Aptitude Test, better known as the SAT, has long been a factor in what colleges and universities take into account when looking for potential students. Due to COVID-19, students are unable to take the test. So, what does that mean for college admissions? Well, we're going to find out the answer in Jessica's recent conversation on that very topic.
So we've seen the headlines. The SAT has been scrapped for now, but what's next? We're joined today by two experts, Ethan Fieldman, the CEO of Math Nation, and Teresa Ryan. She is also with Math Nation as a tutor and a high school teacher. It's great to see both of you. Thank you for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is one of those things that we're learning as we go. But Ethan, Math Nation has resources available to help, but in the meantime, everybody's wondering, this is our benchmark. What are we doing? This has been scrapped. So now what?
Right. There was a 5-month period right now where there's no SAT being offered, and the SAT offered the test, but they turned away a lot of students because of social distancing. And so it's certainly throwing a wrench in college admissions. The good news is that a lot of colleges, including UVA, Virginia Tech, et cetera, are going test optional this year. So students that are rising seniors in high school don't have to take a test if they don't want to.
It's interesting because you think, okay, that's the circumstance now. We look into our crystal ball and then wonder what's to come after that. I guess we may leave that question for another day. But Terry, as folks are working to sharpen resources, we've had conversations on the show about summer slide and making sure that we're combating that and making sure that we're ready for what's to come, even though the SATs may not be part of that. As a high school teacher, you have some thoughts on how we can make sure that we're keeping our skills sharp and that we are prepared.
Oh, absolutely. And along with the summer slide, now we also have the COVID slide, which is really expounding things. So it is very important for these students to keep up with their skills. They need to be reviewing. They need to be looking at material. Reading is really important. Comprehension slows down if they don't. It's important for them to be practicing problem solving, practicing reading and summarizing. These tests may be optional for colleges now, but it is important for them to know their college readiness. And even though they're optional, colleges will still look at them if students do submit them.
It is interesting because I feel like, it's just one of those things that we're so used to building to, right? The SATs have been part of the fabric for so long. Ethan, even though they may be optional, there's so much, coursework's not the right word, but there is so much that we are used to building around this. If you're almost studying for SATs and things, what are you seeing with Math Nation in terms of being able to help educators, being able to help parents, and being able to help young people still embrace some of the things that would have been measured by this kind of standardized testing?
Absolutely. So as Terry mentioned, first of all, you should still take the test whenever possible because they still will be considered if you send them to most schools. Now, the COVID-19 slide has meant that in many cases, up to 50% of what students learned in math in the whole school year will be lost by the time you get to fall. And so we encourage students to use resources like Math Nation, which is completely free through August 31st, to brush up on things, maybe relearn some things, or even cover things that weren't covered because they went home and they weren't in school for a couple months. It's really important to get back on track this summer, and students can do that. There are a lot of online resources to get back to where they need to be.
I was reading a little bit on the site for Math Nation, and Ethan, it targets 6th to 8th grade math, algebra, geometry, algebra 2, PSAT and SAT resources. So plenty there, and it's very helpful, I'm sure, for both parents, educators, and for the students.
Absolutely. What's unique about Math Nation is that we have exciting, engaging videos for every single topic students need to learn. So you have a teacher, a real teacher, on camera with you to walk you through everything. And then you get to try practice problems afterwards and get immediate feedback on how you're doing. Find out if you got it right, find out if you got it wrong, and then even watch a teacher go through and explain how to do that problem. So really, everything that a student or a parent could use is there. And as you mentioned, it's from 6th grade all the way through high school. That said, we know it's hard to find the time to do these types of things. In addition to that, though, even if it's just making a budget with your family, or if it's planning a road trip or anything you can do that's math related will also help with that COVID-19 slide over the summer. So it's not just about going online and using resources like Math Nation, although it's very helpful. It's also just everyday life type of things and showing students that the math is everywhere, right?
Yeah, as Terry was mentioning, Terry, reading is critical and just being engaged in the process wherever you can.
Absolutely. The things that are tested and looked at are Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, reading vocabulary, and reading comprehension. Those are highly tested and most important skills for success in college. So it is important to know where you stand on those.
Absolutely. So be able to take the SAT when you can, advocate for that, because those will still be certainly encouraged and accepted, and be sure to stay reading and take advantage of those resources. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. And Math Nation is providing that free resource access through August 31st. We'll have a direct link on our website, WTVR.com/VTM, so you can learn more.